Have you ever met someone for only a few minutes, yet days later you still remembered them? Not because they were the most attractive person in the room or because they said something extraordinary, but because there was simply something about them that stayed in your mind. Now, think about the opposite. Have you ever met someone who looked perfect, had impressive achievements, and seemed confident, yet you felt no real connection? It happens more often than people realize. The truth is, first impressions are powerful, but not for the reasons most people believe. Most people think appearance decides everything, but psychology suggests that our brains quickly form impressions using many small signals, not just looks. So, what really shapes a first impression? And why do some people leave a lasting impact without even trying? Stay with me until the end, because one simple shift in the way you communicate can completely change how people remember you. And if you enjoy videos about psychology, relationships, and personal growth, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. The first thing many people misunderstand is that a first impression isn't created by one magical moment. Instead, it's built from dozens of tiny details happening at the same time. Your facial expression, your body language, the tone of your voice, how you greet someone, whether you make them feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Your brain notices all these details almost instantly, even if you don't realize it. Imagine walking into a room where two strangers greet you. The first person immediately starts talking about themselves, constantly checking their phone and barely listening. The second person smiles naturally, gives you your full attention, and seems genuinely interested in what you're saying. Who do you think you'll remember more positively? Most people would choose the second person, not because they were more impressive, but because they made the interaction feel comfortable. That's something people rarely forget. Now, here's another interesting fact. Many people spend so much energy trying to be liked that they accidentally make conversations feel unnatural. They rehearse every sentence in their mind. They worry about saying the perfect thing. They become nervous whenever there's a few seconds of silence. But here's what psychology tells us. Comfort often creates stronger connections than perfection. People generally enjoy talking to someone who feels relaxed rather than someone who appears to be performing. Another important part of first impressions is listening. Most people think communication is about speaking well. In reality, communication begins with listening. Think about the last conversation where someone truly listened to you. They didn't interrupt, they didn't immediately bring the conversation back to themselves. They asked thoughtful questions because they were genuinely curious. How did that make you feel? Probably respected. And feeling respected is something people remember for a long time. Let's talk about confidence. Confidence is probably one of the most misunderstood qualities in human behavior. Some people think confidence means speaking louder than everyone else. Others think it means never showing uncertainty. But real confidence is usually much quieter. It's staying calm under pressure. It's admitting when you don't know something. It's being comfortable enough to let someone else speak without needing to dominate the conversation. Ironically, the people who constantly try to prove how confident they are often appear less confident than those who simply remain calm. Another small detail that shapes first impressions is eye contact. Too little eye contact can make someone seem distracted or uninterested. Too much can feel uncomfortable. Healthy communication usually happens somewhere in the middle. Natural eye contact tells someone you're paying attention without making the interaction feel intense. Another factor people often overlook is kindness. Kindness doesn't require expensive gifts or dramatic gestures. Sometimes it's simply remembering someone's name, holding the door open, saying thank you, being patient when someone is nervous. These small moments may seem insignificant, but together they create a powerful emotional experience. Now let's talk about authenticity. One of the biggest mistakes people make during first meetings is pretending to be someone they're not. Maybe they exaggerate their success. Maybe they hide their hobbies because they think they're not interesting enough. Maybe they constantly agree with everything the other person says because they want to be liked. The problem is that pretending becomes exhausting. Sooner or later, people notice when someone's behavior doesn't feel genuine. Authenticity creates trust, and trust creates stronger relationships. Here's another important reminder. Not everyone will connect with you, and that's completely normal. Every person has different personalities, different values, and different experiences. Trying to impress everyone is impossible. Instead, focus on being respectful, honest, and genuinely interested in the people around you. Those qualities create lasting impressions far more often than trying to appear perfect. Now, imagine two people meeting for the first time. One spends the entire conversation trying to sound impressive. The other spends the conversation making the other person feel comfortable, heard, and respected. Which conversation is more likely to be remembered? The answer is usually obvious. People may forget your exact words, they may forget what you were wearing, but they'll often remember how they felt while talking to you. That's why emotional experiences matter so much. The strongest first impressions rarely come from trying to be unforgettable. They come from making someone feel relaxed enough to be themselves. So, the next time you meet someone new, don't put pressure on yourself to say something extraordinary. Smile naturally, listen carefully, stay curious, be respectful, and allow your personality to show without pretending to be someone else. Because in the end, first impressions aren't about being perfect. They're about creating a moment where another person feels comfortable, respected, and genuinely valued. And those are the moments people remember long after the conversation ends. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think creates the best first impression? Confidence, kindness, humor, or something else? Share your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos about psychology, communication, and self-improvement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.